What's up, everyone on YouTube? My name's Brandon. I mainly make content on TikTok. And I started making content on here in like November of 2022. And I stopped in like spring of 2023. And there are some reasons why I stopped. Recently, one of my followers on TikTok said that he wants me to start making content on here. And today I was just having a strong feeling telling me to make a YouTube video. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. And we'll see where it goes. But anyway, some of you who subscribed to me back in 2022 or spring of 2023, some of you still might subscribe. But I have a feeling I probably lost quite a few subscribers because I stopped making content on here. But anyway, I'm gonna talk about why I stopped making content. I'm gonna talk about pretty much what's been going on for about the past couple of years. And like the ups and downs or whatever. The struggles I've had, challenges, accomplishments, and yeah. So, really the main reason I stopped making content on here is because at the time, my mental health was bad. I struggle with anxiety and depression a lot. My anger issues were really bad. So a lot of the times if I thought making a video on here, I also thought something like, but all the people that subscribe to me on here that we know each other in real life, if I make a video like this, a lot of them will probably give me a lot of backlash, not be happy about it, like just give me a lot of constructive criticism. Because at the time, I was making a lot of downer videos on TikTok. Like, I made a few videos where I went in my car, I was just raging about how things were going, the way people were treating me. I made a lot of videos calling out people and like confronting people, getting pissed at them for the way they treated me, and like calling them ableist pieces of shit, telling them walk a mile in my shoes, and just stuff like that. I was making a lot of content like that on TikTok at the time, and there's a lot of people who subscribe to me on here that don't follow me on TikTok, or I block them on TikTok. And I stopped making content because really the only type of content I thought thinking was stuff like that. I didn't want those people seeing and getting upset. You feel what I'm saying? So that's a big part why I stopped making content on here. And I think I'm gonna start again. Now, the next thing I thought I'd talk about is probably one of the main reasons I struggle with my mental health. When I stopped making content on here and kept making that type of content I was making on TikTok for a while. So I struggle with addiction. I was addicted to this drug called kratom. I was addicted to nicotine pouches. Which the nicotine pouches, I don't think those were too much of a problem. Like, any addiction's bad. Most addictive substances are bad for you somehow. But nicotine's not one of the worst things to be addicted to. But kratom was definitely pretty bad. I've actually heard people say that they think kratom's more addictive than fentanyl. Which I bet that's the case if you take like 5 or 10 grams of it at once and you don't really have a tolerance to it. I can see that possibly being the case, but I'm not sure. I'm not an expert. I just know stuff from my personal experience. Anywho, I got my addiction first started becoming more and more of a problem in about the middle of 2021. My addiction to kratom, at least. And when I first started taking it, all the people at the store I got it at, the people I knew who took it and made me want to try it out, they made it sound like it was a good thing. And even some of those people who made it sound like it was a good thing back then, they know now how bad it is. Them and I both know how bad it is now. Anyhow, they were telling me stuff like, this'll help you with your mental issues. It'll help you feel better. It'll help with this, it'll help with that. And they'd be like, it's not addictive. They'd say stuff like that. And I started taking it all the time, thinking it was alright. I was thinking, this is I'm using this for medicinal purposes. This is helpful. I think this will help me. But little did I know, at one point about a year in my addiction, I started finding out that it actually does a lot of bad things to you. Like, if you abuse it, it'll worsen your anxiety, it'll worsen your depression, and make you have certain psychotic symptoms like psychosis and stuff like that. It's bad for your liver. Trying to think what else. There's a lot of bad things about it. It makes your blood pressure higher than it should be. I've heard that. So yeah. And then on December 13th, actually before I get into that, I'm gonna say this. I tried quitting kratom cold turkey on New Year's Eve of 2021, and I couldn't handle it. The last time I did a shot of it that time, it was right before I went to bed, before New Year's Eve. Then on New Year's Eve, I woke up, I think at about 9 in the morning. No, I think I woke up at about 8 in the morning. Maybe, yeah, I think 8. I didn't get out of bed till 9 or 9:30. I was already having withdrawals, I think. And I just wasn't feeling it. I was told that energy drinks will probably help with the withdrawals a little bit, so right as I got out of bed, I got a Bang energy drink and I drank it. And I was definitely having withdrawals in the first hour of the day. And then by the end of the day, by about the middle of the day, I felt like I was going to have a panic attack. I felt like I was this close to having a panic attack. And I was just feeling really out of it, really tired, really nervous and stuff for the rest of the day. And probably by about 5 or 6 that evening on New Year's Eve, I relapsed. And ever since then, more and more people start finding out I was addicted to kratom. Eventually everyone in my family found out I was addicted. They were pretty upset about it. They knew it was really bad. And they didn't really understand how severe my addiction was. They really didn't understand everything about kratom when it comes to how addictive it is for some people. They didn't understand stuff like that. So they didn't really know what ways to help me stop taking it. Like, at one point I was thinking stuff like, I feel like maybe I should get on MAT or go to rehab. And some of them would be like, yeah, maybe you should. I think they were saying, I feel like at the time they were saying that just because I was suggesting it. And like they were maybe thinking, yeah, anything to help you get off of this. And then back to when I was saying some of them didn't really understand how severe it was. There are times where people would tell me stuff like, you don't need MAT, you don't need to go rehab to get off of it. What you need to do is have a better mindset. You need to fix your crappy mindset and try again. People would say stuff like that, and let me tell you, it definitely, I'm trying to think of, it rubbed me the wrong way when people told me stuff like that. Like, I felt very misunderstood when people told me that. Like, from my point of view about the mindset thing, when people would tell me I had to have a better mindset, from my point of view, I could try my hardest to have a better mindset. But the way it went for me when I tried quitting, like how overwhelming it got, how bad my anxiety got, and just stuff like that. I'm trying to think of how to word it, but it programmed my mindset to be the way it was. Like, I could try my hardest to have a positive mindset and be like, I can do this. But with how bad the withdrawals made my anxiety and stuff like that, I definitely did need some type of treatment. And at my worst point, I was taking over 100 grams of it every day. Like, I look at some of the videos some of my last videos I made before I made this one. I was like, holy dude, I see what people are talking about when they say it looks pretty unhealthy. Like, a lot of you that haven't seen me since then, a lot of you are probably like, oh my god, he looks really good. He seems a lot better too. A lot of you are probably thinking stuff like that. And I'm trying to think of what else I was gonna say. But there have been some people, after I got the help I need to quit kratom, after I got that help, some people who would tell me that ignorant stuff, they pretty much apologized for what they said and admitted that they didn't understand how addictive it was, and like, you know, stuff like that. They didn't understand that stuff as well as they do now. Some people have told me stuff like that and basically apologized for telling me stuff like, oh, you don't need treatment, you just need to have a better mindset. But yeah, my mental health's definitely gotten better for the most part since I quit. In some ways I've been feeling more healthy. Trying to think of what else to say. I'm more financially stable. Some good things have definitely came out of it. And one thing that probably happens for a lot of recovering addicts is after they've been sober for a while, they start being like, I'm not getting the results I want. I'm not getting the results I was expecting to get. And a lot of people have probably relapsed because of that. And I've thought of it too. There's been moments where I was like, this should not be happening by now. This problem that started happening when I was addicted, this should be gone by now. Or I should be better at this now. This should be going better by now. What's the point in even keep going? I've had thoughts like that. And like had thoughts of relapsing. But I'm still going strong. I do gotta keep in mind that there's some things that'll probably take a lot of time to go away or change. And there's probably some things that never will. Like because of Asperger's, autism, ADHD. Some things might never go away. And I'll just have to learn how to live with it. And trying to think of what else. Yeah. I'd say that's probably about it. So I think I'm gonna try and make a little more content on here. We'll see where it goes. And yeah, have a blessed day. Have a good one.